Now we're going to get practical with these ELPS. We are going to take ELPS and match them to activities that have been used in Wake Tech English language instructors' classrooms. Hopefully this gives you an idea of how we can use the ELPS in action, as well as give you some ideas for activities that you might be able to use in the future. First, we're going to take a look at ELPS number 1. And ELPS number 1 says to construct meaning from oral presentations and literary and informational texts through level appropriate listening, reading, and viewing. So, what does this look like in action? In our lower level activity, we have students calling teachers to leave a voicemail to explain why they cannot come to class. Then the teacher will play the recording for the class, and the students will take notes to determine why this person is missing class. So, is this an oral presentation or a literary or informational text? Look at the bolded word voicemail. Of course, this is an oral presentation. We are using spoken word and we are listening to it through the sound system. All right, let's take a look at the higher level activity. Here, students are reading an article on time management from Standout. Then they are writing their own outline with the main points from the reading. So, is this an oral presentation? Or is this from a literary or informational text? Of course, it's from a text. So now an article on time management, is this literary or informational? Well, if it's an article on time management, it's definitely our informational text. So, we have our two things that students are constructing meaning from. But how are they going to construct meaning from a voicemail or an article? Here, we have that students will take notes to construct meaning from the voicemail. And then in our higher level activity, we have that students will complete this outline to help them construct meaning from the activity. Now we're going to take a look at one more. We're going to read ELPS number 8, which is to determine the meaning of words and phrases in oral presentations and literary and informational texts. So what does this look like in action? In our lower level activity, we have students reading an online story about a person who's looking for a job. So this is a story about Fazil from Bow Valley Readers if you are interested in using it. Then students are going to use the images and sentence patterns to find meaning for these words, look at a job posting, and then apply this story to their own life. And in the higher level class, we have students reading a housing advertisement from Standout. Again, students are using images and this context of house buying and renting to determine the meaning of this specific vocabulary, phrases, and advertising language. Then students will take this to write their own advertisement and demonstrate how they can use these words to describe their home. So, when we talk about an online story, is this a literary or informational text? Yes, of course, it's a story about a fictional character named Fazil looking for a job. So, this is an online story. So now let's look for some informational text. In our lower level activity, we have a job posting. That's definitely an informational text. And then in our higher level activity, that housing advertisement is also an informational text. So, how are students constructing meaning for these words and phrases while using these literary and informational texts? Well, students are finding meaning by the images and sentence patterns. So in this lower level class, they're using the skills that they have to create meaning. And then in our higher level class, students are using these same skills, finding the images and the context-specific vocabulary, and they are determining the meaning of these words so that they can use in their own advertisement. I hope this helps you see the ELPS in action. We're going to let you practice a little bit on your own now.